Welcome. Come on into the house. Welcome, beautiful people. Thanks for coming on in. We're going to have a jammed up session in a very short period of time. It's going to be awesome. If you would be so kind as to hit your little Periscope man and invite and share this broadcast with other folks. We're going to talk about the power of practice. So I've got lots of things to share. I am Marvin LeBlanc. I am an author. I am a speaker. I am a performance strategist and performance thought leader. So I teach small business owners and coach small business owners, and I also teach small business owners and their salespeople how to actually start working smarter, working less, and living longer. So that's a little introduction about me. Also, because this is a Periscope session, just want to tell you ahead of time when I get fired up, if you just feel so inclined to tap on that screen and share some wonderful hearts, let me know that you guys are out there. Sean Lynn Wyman is in the house. Sean, I want to tell you that I just took down the entire list of the honored people that, such as yourself and myself, that happen to now be a part of the Perry 10K team. And so we definitely want to talk about that before we get off. Perry 10K, that's PERI 10K. What's our mission? Well, our mission is we want each of our Perry 10K soldiers out there to first accomplish 10,000 hearts. That's one of our missions. Sean, you can chime in with 10,000 followers, not 10,000 hearts. Yeah, I just want 10,000 followers, or actually 10,000 hearts today, right? Not only do we want 10,000 followers so that we can nurture and share and build our businesses, but one of the other purposes in Perry 10K is collaboration. So basically, Perry 10K is from people all over the world. Most of us haven't met yet, but we're looking for that opportunity as we go forward. But our key is to be involved in collaboration. Our key is to fight back a world that has become too consumed with me. What we want to do is, as Sean say, we want to provide inspiration through collaboration. Oh, is that well said? Inspiration through collaboration. So if you're a giver, if you feel like you have a message, if you feel like you have a voice and you haven't had an opportunity or a platform to share that voice and share your personal experience, then following Perry 10K might be just the thing for you to go from being good to being great. So we want to encourage you to embrace that thoroughly, because I want you to know that inside you is greatness, and we want that greatness to come out. Thanks for stopping by, Laughter Revo. Appreciate you being in the house. And so let's go ahead and get started with tonight's segment called The Power of Practice. Now, there's sometimes people get an illusion, well, man, you just seem so successful, Marvin. Everything just kind of comes to you so naturally. Perhaps you're blessed with some unbelievable ability. Well, most of all of that, if you really are thinking about it, is hogwash. The actual science behind success is usually cloaked in hard ass work. Okay? It's cloaked in hard focus. It's cloaked in being intentional in the lives of other people. Always worthy. Thanks for coming into the house. Appreciate your hearts. Tonight, Always Worthy, we're talking about the power of practice. So let me get into it a little bit. There was a time in my life that I was so spoiled because I was only driving 9 miles one way to work, and didn't really realize how much of a benefit I actually had in a 9-mile drive to work. Well, as fate would have it, some of you know, I am an insurance professional in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I was a insurance professional on the day Hurricane Katrina hit. Yeah, I want you to think of that. Oh, what an opportunity that was. Yes. And also what an opportunity it was for me to have 12 feet of water in my office that I would never go back to. What an opportunity I had when the 17th Street Canal breached and basically washed out my house. What an opportunity I had to lose 8 or 9 employees because they were scattered all over the United States. So boy, did I have a lot of opportunities. And one of the opportunities that came to me after I had a chance to become homeless at 43 years old, I wouldn't recommend that if I were you. But the opportunity I had is when I finally did buy, Mama Louise. Oh yeah, I love me some Mama Louise. You got to go over there and definitely follow some Mama Louise. I mean, she puts me to bed at night like as if I just drank some good hot milk. She is a loving, spiritual human being. So back to I was driving 9 miles, and then my commute went to 67 miles. Man. And I also have 2 back surgeries. Well, at first I was bitter about it, but as time goes on, thanks so much for the hearts, guys. I really appreciate the hearts. As I continued to drive this 67 miles, it occurred to me that this is a great opportunity to practice. Practice what? Well, I could practice in my car, number one, my presentation. I could practice the names of people. I could practice my stories because I speak all over the nation and I tell stories that illustrate relevant points for specific audiences. If your stories are good but they don't have a relevant point to your audience, you're not going to be booked to come back for a fee at a later time. So in that car, I turned that drive time into practice time. Another thing that happened in that car is I've had 2 surgeries on my tongue, on the right side of my tongue. And so I've lost about 85%. Well, I've lost about 15 to 20% of my tongue. Hey, Coco, how you doing tonight, baby? You rocking the house? Excellent. Thanks for those hearts. Keep them going. Don't forget to hit your little Periscope man over there and invite some other people in here. Also, it's not too late to help those people get to the replay. So, what was I doing? I was practicing my presentation. I was practicing stories. I actually had to go through a very depressing time. Hello, Los Angeles. The depressing time was knowing that I lost 20% of my tongue. I had to practice learning how to talk with just the left side of my tongue. Now, that sounds kind of funny now, but if you were a speaker and the doctor said, I don't really know if you're going to be able to enunciate at a later time after I burn your tongue and stitch your tongue up. It's pretty intimidating. I thought for a second I'll have to be doing a heck of a lot of writing from here on out if I can't use my tongue. So I decided even if I lose that 20%, I'm going to learn how to talk with what I do have. Instead of focusing in on what I don't have anymore, I'm going to focus in on what I do have. So that was practicing, that whole mindset of practicing. That's a key thing. Another thing, right now, I strongly suggest if you're trying to learn either word tracks for your office, how to talk on Periscope, okay? It doesn't matter who talks and says anything goofy. Walk up to the side of a wall, okay, and stand up. I had a lot of experience when I was in school of getting my nose put on the board, on the chalkboard. They would draw a circle and tell me to put my nose in the chalkboard because I was busting it and making straight A's, but I was getting constant unsatisfactory grades in conduct because when I finished an assignment too fast, I wanted to talk. Imagine that. And here I am, 53 years old. I still want to talk. I still want to express. I have so many things left to learn. I have so many things left I want to practice. So don't ever feel sad about looking straight at the wall and having a full conversation so that your mouth can start saying the same things over and over without you getting off track. Because I'll tell you a little secret. Shh, don't tell anybody. But just because I've spoken all over the nation and just because I was on a television show for a year, this Periscope thing has me a little uncomfortable. Can y'all give me some hearts if you're a Periscoper and you've done some sessions and you were a little uncomfortable trying to communicate on Periscope? I mean, one problem I have, imagine if you were me and you had to look at my face coming back from the camera while I'm trying to speak to you. I mean, man, that's just enough. I think I'm gonna back away for a second or just do something. Let's just hide it or something. But the fact is, my face is my face, and so we got to go with what we got, right, baby? Coco, you still there, baby? Excellent. So I'm practicing. So I'm getting better. This is maybe my 5th or 6th Periscope, and I'm in a class. Ooh, and this class is holding me accountable because one of the things in this class that I'm taking with Michael Cinquino, you got to follow him. Can anybody tell me? Yes, Marvin, I'm following Michael Cinquino. You got to follow him. He is the bomb, and he's only been periscoping for but about 60 days, and he is very effective. Okay, well, the very first exercise on the first day of class, he tells us for the next 7 days, we have to scope 3 times a day and have 21 scopes done by next week. Oh, man, when he first told me that, it's like, man, I'm too busy. I can't do this. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're in the class with me. Also, tell me what your name is if you feel free to do that always. So I was uncomfortable. And even at 53 years old with lots of successful experiences, I was making excuses. Do y'all ever make excuses for not moving forward with your life? Come on, give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. Oh, Mama Louise, okay, baby. Oh, man, every time I see your name, I get the positive vibe. Okay, well, I was feeling uncomfortable about doing these periscopes. I'm still even learning the language. Well, I had to have a talk with my own self in the mirror and say, hey, Marvin, you got to practice what you preach. Go and practice in front of everybody. Put it on out there. Don't be so worried about being perfect. The right people are going to follow you, and the wrong ones, just blow them off. That's not who your followers are. And so that's what I did. So let's summarize. I practice in my car. I also pray in my car. And I'm not going to talk to you about what you should or should not do, or if you have a higher power. I talk to him like he's right there in the seat next to me. I have a big old conversation. So that's how I pray. I practice with my nose 6 inches to the wall. The other thing that I do is, this all started back when I was around 21, 22 years old. I became a corporate training specialist for the Dale Carnegie courses. Anybody familiar with the Dale Carnegie training? Have any of you taken a Dale Carnegie course? Well, I took this Dale Carnegie course, and my mentor there was a man by the name of Jim Winter. And he was ex-Marine drill sergeant. And so sometimes while he was coaching me, he would call me at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning and ask me to recite my presentation. That's a fact. And so you better rock it. And I know it was 2:30 in the morning, but if you can know your presentation at 2:30 in the morning, you're probably going to be pretty good during the daytime when you're fully awake. But what he was doing was he was getting that muscle memory in. It's no different than Michael Jordan. One time I saw him on television. He had shot so many free throw shots that on one particular time in front of the national audience, Michael Jordan shoots a free throw in a game with his eyes closed. Now, how did that happen? He made it. I mean, stripped the net. How did that happen? Because he had so much muscle memory down pat. But he had the ability, and I'm asking you to have the ability and the willingness to practice. Robert Montgomery Knight, a famous Indiana Hoosiers basketball coach, once said, "Everybody wants to be national champions, and no one wants to go to practice." Let me repeat that, because I know a couple of you that are watching right now want to write that down. Everybody wants to be national champions, and no one wants to come to practice. What he's saying is, it doesn't really matter how talented you are. If you're not going to get off the couch and get into the game, okay, it doesn't matter what your talent is. Talent has always been overrated, okay? Attitude is going to be the key. If you have great skills and you have great knowledge, but your attitude is terrible, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. So another thing I'd like to ask you or encourage you to practice is practice saying no to losers. Yep. You got to get the losers out of your life. All right? You can't keep enabling people. You got to move on and free yourself up. I have a rather small circle of my tight friends. But I expect certain things out of my friends, and my friends expect certain things out of me. Relationships is nothing more than the sum total of deposits and withdrawals. Okay? If you're feeling me, keep throwing up those hearts, baby. You go. I appreciate it. But I have to be there for my friends. Loyalty is a big thing for a South Louisiana Cajun man. Okay? We'll give you the shirt off our back. Okay? Now, if you steal from us, man, we are very hard people to forgive. But if you ask for what you want, we're going to take care of you. We're going to love on you. We're going to cook for you. We're going to cook us a big gumbo with a roux, and we're going to slow cook that food, and we're going to break bread with you, and we'll be there for you. And in return, we want you to be there for us when things don't go well. So that's what I wanted to cover, the power of practice. You can get to where you need if you are committed to practicing. Imagine, Mama Louise, how unbelievable we are going to sound when we do Periscope number 100. Los Angeles, I see Los Angeles is in a house. Imagine, you may have already done 100 periscopes, but imagine how good you're going to sound after 100 periscopes. Imagine the power that you have, because basically you're a broadcaster now. And I strongly encourage each of you to shoot out to your social media channels a schedule on when you're going to be doing your next scope, the time, and what the topic is, and stay on that schedule. Okay, you're going to be accountable to your audience, and your audience will take the time to hear what you have to say. So that's my stuff on the power of practice. The other thing that I thought I would tell people is that if you're new to Periscope, you need to go and get a free download of Catch, and that's K-A-T-C-H. And what Catch will do is, instead of you having a video on Periscope that ends after, I think it's 24 hours, Catch actually captures your video permanently. Is that something that you might be interested in? Very good. So Catch will catch that video and save it, and my team of virtual assistants actually take it and put it into my archive on Google Docs, so that I can save that content for a later time, because we can go back and get the actual text of the messages, and then that will come out in the form of a book at a future date. So we're always wanting to unpack our material and keeping that as a resource to use at a later time. 2 or 3 titles that you will see when you go to Catch or search Marvin LeBlanc. One of the titles is One Key to a Better Night's Sleep. So right after this, you pop on over there and you're going to be able to pull up One Key to a Better Night's Sleep. It works for me. It can work for you. Another title that you should look for is You Would Never Guess Where Marvin Is Tonight. So that was a little piece that I did probably in the last day or so. You'd never guess where Marvin is tonight. Please check it out. And now this next one, whatever you got to do to spend some extra time to go look this one up, this idea is good stuff. This idea, I'm telling you, it's my original idea. It's so simple, you're going to say, why didn't I think of that? But it just came to me, and now I'm sharing it with you. And the title of that particular scope is How to Double Your Money with the Clients You Already Have. How to double your money with the clients you already have. What we're trying to do there is not focus so much. Thank you for those hearts. Keep them coming. Please keep sharing that Periscope, man. What we're trying to do there is to make sure we don't spend all of our time trying to get new clients, and we forget about serving in a larger capacity the clients we already have. So that's what that particular session is going to be on, how to double your money with the clients you already have. Now, another important thing that's a part of Perry 10K is edification. And earlier I had told you that one of my early mentors would wake me up in the middle of the night and make me recite my sales presentation. Thank you for those hearts. Ooh, they're getting going up there. I love it. They're passing my face. Go Hearts, go Hearts, go Hearts, go Hearts, go Hearts. Love it, love it. Well, my mentor is a guy by the name of Jim Winter. And if you can see this, can y'all see that pretty clearly? Split Second Choice, The Power of Attitude by Jim Winter. This man was amazing in my life, and why I'm showing this to you and why I'm edifying his work is because after Hurricane Katrina, as you might expect, I had a little bit of an attitude. Oh yeah. The French Cajun people down here call it the red ass. So I was a bitter individual, and so I had to work on my attitude. Well, in this book right here, Split Second Choice, The Power of Attitude, which you can certainly buy it wherever you want, but you can certainly buy it at my website, MarvinLeBlanc.com, MarvinLeBlanc.com. This model, this attitude diagram, and this attitude model that actually identifies exactly where you are in your attitude, and when you're in that attitude, what do you need to do to change that attitude so you can move from negative anger into some positive anger, where you can move from being meaningless and move towards being purposeful, where you move from idleness to move towards intentionality. So I would strongly recommend Jim's book, Split Second Choice, The Power of Attitude. For those that want to find out more about my story, you certainly can, and that is Come Hell or High Water, Life Lessons from Hurricane Katrina. So this is actually a home that I know exactly where it is. And this was basically my story. And for about 2 years, I refused to write it. And a very strong-willed woman named Mickey Williams, M-I-K-K-I Williams, you should look her up and follow her newsletter, stayed in my face and said, Marvin, you need to write that story. I thought she was nuts. I mean, who wants to listen to a Cajun man tell a story, right? I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? Well, one Christmas, that book went Amazon Kindle bestseller. And don't ask me really how it happened, other than the stories connected. I'm not the next John Grisham, but I am definitely the next Marvin LeBlanc. And I have thoroughly enjoyed sharing some of these ideas with you today. I hope for you a great night's sleep. I hope for you an unbelievable Sunday where you breathe, where you look at the sun, where you raise your arms and just obsess with all the things that we are so grateful for. Can you please focus on your gratitude? I thank you for your attention so much, and as always, whenever I end, I wish you 3 things. I wish you peace, I wish you love, and I wish you gumbo. Good night, everybody. Stay in touch.